Good morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m., 48 degrees, super rainy outside, windy, and it's going to get much windier throughout the day. But traffic has been a big issue this morning. This is a look from around 7 o'clock this morning, about 2 hours ago, on the 190 south, right near the 198. That truck facing in the wrong direction. Traffic completely stopped for hours there on the 190. And we just got some new information from state police. They're describing it as a collision involving a car and a box truck right there at the 190 south by the 198. The driver of the box truck was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We don't know about the condition of the car, but we've learned that the backups caused by this incident caused another crash near that location because people were trying to avoid the initial crash. And Lance Mellon has been on top of it all morning long and showing us the ripple effects as people were trying to avoid that area and taking other routes instead. Lance, what's the latest?
Yeah, Melissa, that accident, like you said, it was about 2 hours ago, and just a quick view of the same camera view you just showed, the 190 right near the 198. Everything is more or less cleared. You can see towards kind of the top of your screen, there's a vehicle on the right shoulder. I'm not sure if that was involved in that earlier accident, but it could just be a disabled vehicle. But yeah, anytime you have a high-profile vehicle and a car or maybe a smaller truck get into an incident, it's always a messy situation. So we had long delays. A lot of folks maybe a little late to work today, but at this point, we're still a little slow just before Austin Street heading towards the 198. So a lot of improvement compared to what we saw earlier. But yeah, still a delay heading to downtown Buffalo. This time of morning, usually it's not too bad. And I just want to show you real quick that accident that was in that route of the congestion that's still in place on the right shoulder. A lot of damage to that SUV involved. This is closer to Ontario Street, but at this point, everyone's moving by that spot just fine, Melissa.
All right. And Lance, we also know about some other rollover accidents in Niagara County. There was a water main break. And gosh, the 290 was backed up near the big blue water tower. What's happening in other places across Western New York?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to show you the 198. That was a spot that was heavily affected by that earlier accident, and thankfully nice and clear. A lot of folks diverted to Niagara Street, which was a good idea at the time when that accident first occurred, but it was giving us a lot of congestion that we don't normally see on the 198 and Niagara Street through that section. So those areas have really improved a lot, and a lot of those drivers as well, to avoid the 190, they got off at the 290, thought about taking that all the way to the 90 to downtown Buffalo, which is quite a detour, but it was worthwhile for a lot of folks. But still seeing delays on the 290 East with a lot of rain coming down here at Main Street. We had that earlier accident that has been cleared, so that was nice to see. But yeah, improvements. It was stretched back all the way to the 990, but at this point, it's looking not too bad passing Sheridan Drive. So just a minor delay near the Blue Water Tower. And that water main break, like you just mentioned, we had that right at the top of the show, top of Daybreak this morning. But Niagara Falls Boulevard is still closed. Two lanes, I should say, are still closed between Maple Road and Meyer Road. So just the left lane is the passable spot there. And I just got off the phone with the Erie County Water Authority, and he didn't sound too encouraged. He said they're still going to be there for at least the rest of the morning, possibly into the early afternoon. And as we know, that's a very busy spot.
Yeah, that Delta Sonic right there, the McDonald's are in right by the Boulevard Mall. And later this afternoon, I mean, the rain should be moving out, but we could see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which obviously could affect power outages, which would mean, traffic lights out. We need to treat those as four-way stops. So I'm sure that all of you guys at the NFTA will be watching all of that very closely this afternoon and this evening as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We just saw it earlier last week with those high winds. It just causes havoc with the trees, branches coming down, debris in roadways, potential power outages. We don't want to predict too much of what could happen, but just a result of the last couple weeks, it's caused a lot of headaches around the area. So we'll be keeping coverage. If you tune in later on during first at 4 and first at 5, we'll have full coverage from the NFTA to get you updated as the winds kind of pick up as the day continues, Melissa.
All right, very good. Lance, thanks for all your hard work this morning. We appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Go Bills.
Yep, you got it.
All right, now we want to get to some other news that we've been following all morning long. More bad crashes across Western New York. This first one happened overnight in Niagara Falls. It involves a police car. Take a look at the video. It happened in the area of 16th Street and Cleveland Avenue around 1 o'clock this morning. 2 cars involved in this one, both badly damaged. The police car, a lot of front end damage. The second car, this blue one here, the roof was torn off. It's completely totaled. It looks pretty bad. We have reached out to Niagara Falls Police for more details about any injuries to any officers or civilians. We haven't heard back yet. As soon as we do, we'll bring you that information right here on Channel 2 and WGRZ.com. We're also trying to learn more about what happened in West Seneca in the area of Transit Road and Route 20. We reached out to West Seneca Police. They told us that someone hit a bridge around 10 o'clock last night, and then you could see that vehicle being pulled up by a tow truck. The area around it was closed for a while. It has since reopened. We don't know if anyone was hurt or how badly. And we're also following a serious crash that happened on the thruway at the Hamburg exit around 7 o'clock last night. State police say someone was standing outside of their car on the right shoulder of the exit 57 westbound off-ramp, and that's when they were hit by a box truck. Police say that the victim was taken to the hospital with a serious head injury. 2 other people were also taken to the hospital with minor injuries. All 3 of those crashes are still under investigation. And developing now, we are following yet another shooting involving a federal agent. According to NBC News, Border Patrol agents conducted a targeted vehicle stop in Portland, Oregon yesterday afternoon. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson said 2 people were shot when the driver allegedly tried to run over agents. They say one of the people inside was an illegal immigrant from Venezuela and involved in a prostitution ring and a recent shooting. The 2 who were shot were taken to the hospital and their conditions are unknown. Officials say the agent acted in self-defense, and it all comes just one day after a 37-year-old U.S. citizen and mother of 3 was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. And this incident has sparked nationwide protests, and the rallies have extended here to Buffalo as well. Demonstrators gathered outside the ICE field office in Buffalo at the corner of Delaware and Chippewa. The crowd was much bigger yesterday than even the day before. Demonstrators we spoke to say they don't support ICE's actions, but they do plan to protest peacefully. There were no confrontations, but their message was loud and clear.
I'm here to support them and this country and the people, the citizens and the immigrants have a right here. The Bible says to love thy neighbor, and hate has no place.
Every day I see the impact on families here. I see the fear. I see the way that there's family separation, just a list of deep harms, child detention at the bridges. I could go on and on, overcrowded detention facilities. It's heartbreaking, and we need to see an end to it. And this does not represent who we are in Buffalo or who we are as a people in our hearts.
And more protests are being scheduled across the country this weekend, including right here in Buffalo. Well, our other big story today, of course, is the weather with high wind warnings, Patrick, and lots of rain right now. What's the latest? Yeah,
I was up on the roof, and it was the umbrella just inverts anytime you try to protect yourself. Anyway, quite windy up there right now and rainy as well. The rain is going to begin to taper off a little bit, but we still have a chance of showers through probably midday, and then we're going to see some partial clearing, we think, and that will bring in some brief, maybe a peak of sun, but then the clouds will roll back in. Showers continue between 2 and 3, and then the gusty winds really pick up. Steady rain from the Falls, Lockport, Clarence, down towards Elma, Marilla getting into it, Akron, rain. Again, this is not snow, this is all rain. Ellicottville up towards Warsaw, Java, Varysburg, and down towards Jamestown. All right, this rain is moving through. See this? There's some clearing here moving towards Detroit. That clearing will be here early this afternoon, and that is where the wind is, okay? I know it's windy now, but I mean the strongest winds. There will be kind of a brief window of really strong winds around western New York. See that clearing taking place early in the afternoon? Temperatures in the mid-50s, another line of showers, and then the strong winds as the winds get up to 50 to 60 miles an hour potentially. Tonight, cloudy skies, it gets colder, and then tomorrow we're going to bring in some rain, there it is, in the afternoon, followed by some snow showers, it looks like, on Sunday as temperatures fall into the low 30s. Mostly cloudy Monday, Tuesday, some rain and snow showers Wednesday, And then there are signs that it gets much colder Thursday into the next weekend. Maybe a big East Coast storm, too, something we're going to watch. Similar outlook for the south towns in the southern tier with snow showers on Sunday, Melissa.
Hey, Patrick, question for you.
Yeah.
Last time that we had this really bad wind,
Yeah.
2 Mondays ago, the ground was even more frozen, I think, and snow covered, and it was really, really cold. Now we've had a couple days of warm weather. The ground is saturated. It's wet. Do you think that there's a higher chance of even more power outages? I mean, last time we had 30 to 40,000 people without power.
No, that's a very good point. We brought that up earlier. The root structure is going to be challenged with, it's still frozen down low,
right?
But still at the surface, you've got much warmer air and rainwater, and that could mean, more down trees and power outages. And again, the difference, that wind event was like 13 hours long. This wind event will be much shorter, at least the highest winds. But still, it could bring down some trees for sure.
All right, we'll be on top of it. We'll be watching it for sure. Patrick, thank you. We will talk Sabres and Bills, and you'll see a friendly wager, or maybe not so friendly wager, that we have with our sister station down in Jacksonville. That's coming up after the break. Stick around. How about them Sabres? They're so fun to watch. They went into New York last night and came out of Madison Square Garden with a huge win. They built a lead with goals from Josh Doan, Alex Tuck, and Jason Zucker, and then they got a shorthanded goal that sealed the deal from Matthias Samuelsson. Ryan McLeod tacked on an empty netter, and now the Sabres are coming home with a 5-2 win. And sources have also confirmed, speaking of the Sabres, that Buffalo is in discussion with the NHL to host this year's draft. Buffalo hosted the draft 3 times, most recently about 10 years ago, back in 2016. So details are still limited, but we'll let you know how that turns out. But
it's different this year because it's all the team members or, decision makers stay in their home city.
Right. So it's not
as
quite
big,
as
but still,
big
it's the draft.
Yeah, it would be nice and have some, if the Sabres do well, there's more of a reason for the draft to be here because the national media will actually be talking about the Sabres for once in a good way. But they've won 12 of their last 13 games. That's
awesome.
Amazing. And now a long stretch at home again. They'll be playing the Ducks tomorrow at 7 p.m. at KeyBank Center. Fun to go. I went to Tuesday's game against the Canucks. The energy was incredible inside the arena. And so, that's going to be happening on Saturday. And then, of course,
what time is Saturday's game?
7 p.m. tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah, and I believe that the Bandits are playing this weekend. Also, they're out of town, of course.
Okay.
Since KeyBank Center's occupied on Saturday. So we'll be watching the Sabres and hoping for their 13th out of 14 games wins. You got it. You know what I was talking about.
Yes.
Okay, Bills now inching closer to the wild card game on Sunday, and there's a lot of excitement and some nerves too as the Bills prepare to head down to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars. And Josh Allen got a little bit of rest, kind of like a bye week for him since he only took 1 snap on Sunday against the Jets in the final regular season game ever at Highmark Stadium. And that extended his consecutive starting streak to 135 games. He's been dealing with that foot injury in recent weeks, but he was a full participant in practice, and getting healthy wasn't his only focus. The reigning MVP also focused on what he could improve on as he looks to go on a deep playoff run.
Joe kind of had me self-scout myself throughout the year this last week, and I came away obviously just like, God, there's so much out there that I've missed. Getting a little lazy with my feet and not taking a check down and maybe instead trying to force something downfield, or throwing the ball away, not taking sacks and allowing us to be in field goal range. And there's still so much room to improve.
Yep. I
Have
guess
you ever done
so.
any self-scouting? I've done that.
Okay, first of all, this is the first time I've heard the term self-scouting. I've never heard it before.
I've heard of self-reflection.
Right.
Taking an inner look at yourself, but
looking at your own game tape or taking a look in the mirror. But self-scouting, for some reason that term kind of, it has me scratching my head. I don't know. It
kind of makes sense. I mean, he's scouting his own play, He's looking at his play. I think he mentioned, it's like, there were so many guys open that I might not have chosen to throw to, And we all saw that.
Two-point conversion, yeah. Yes, he hasn't been the MVP Josh Allen that we saw last year. He's still Josh Allen, though. I'm not, like, he's amazing. But yeah, he knows that he could be playing better in some games. We all know it. And hopefully this time that he's had to reflect on his game and maybe see where he can improve, we'll see the results of that on Sunday. And yeah, Trevor Lawrence is also a very good quarterback. And so you've got two good ones going up against each other. What are your thoughts? What are your,
I don't know. I don't know why.
We didn't do predictions.
I'm going. I feel like they could really take care of business. I just feel like the playoff experience. Josh Allen just turns it on in the playoffs. A lot of this Jacksonville team, a very good team, have not been in playoff positions before. It's a totally different animal. I think the Bills win, and I think they win by more than a score.
Wow. Okay,
That's,
so I'm thinking
that's out there.
yeah,
I know that's not a hot take.
It's going to be a lot closer. I'm really worried about the defense. I'm worried that these teams have been able to figure out how to stop Josh Allen. He's been sacked so much lately, and so I'm really concerned that they've got the #1 passing defense.
But we have the #1 offensive
rushing.
line, and so that makes you wonder, why is he getting sacked more? Is he staying in the pocket too long? He used to scramble a lot more. But they have the best offensive line in the NFL, so maybe that shows itself and keeps them safe this weekend.
Yeah.
They're not a very good. They have like the least amount of quarterback rushes and sacks in the NFL. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, okay.
So not that they haven't sacked a quarterback, but that's not their strong suit.
I'm taking Bills 20-17.
Oh, that low?
Yeah, that low.
I'm going 35-28.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But we'll see.
We've got it on tape now. So
okay, hold on.
We'll revisit this
let's
on Monday.
harken back to the Super Bowl. What was it? 6 years ago when you called the exact score. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
It was
that.
New England and Atlanta or something.
I've got it in my. We talk about this every Super Bowl year that I called the score. I'll look that up. I'll figure that out too and see what that was because I called it. I wish I would have put money on it.
I think it was that Super Bowl that like Atlanta was winning, like killing the Patriots and Tom Brady. And then Tom Brady came back in the fourth quarter. And anyway.
But I think you're right. I bet it is going to be more high scoring than that. I mean, Jacksonville has scored so many points.
I think it's going to be higher than.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about the wager and our chat with the Jacksonville news folks coming up right after the break. All right, so a little trash talk between two fan bases. Things get a little heated, even with our sister station in Jacksonville. The folks there, just take a look.
Good morning, I'm Brody Logan alongside Crystal Moyer and meteorologist Mike Prangley here in sunny Jacksonville.
And I'm Melissa Holmes alongside Pete Gallivan here in lovely Buffalo in January.
Unseasonably warm, yeah. This morning we're going behind frenemy lines. We're going to make a little wager from the folks at our sister station down in Jacksonville. We want to get some payback when the Bills beat the Jags. Right?
They said when?
Wow.
No.
I don't.
No.
Okay, so Brody and Crystal and Mike, Bills Mafia are getting ready to take over your town. I know a lot of them are there already this morning. Your stadium this weekend, we are going to have red, white, and blue all throughout the stands. We know it's been a few years since you guys have hosted a playoff game. So what's the vibe like in Jacksonville right now as we head into the playoffs?
Well, first I'd like to address Bills Mafia taking over our stadium. It's probably because so many people have left Buffalo and moved to Florida over the last 20 years because it's a much better place to live. So I think that's why they're going to be able to take over the stadium if they are here for this game in the playoffs. But the Jags, 8-game winning streak going into this game. So, yeah, we're feeling pretty good. Right, Crystal?
We've got pools at our stadium. Can you guys say that? It doesn't matter what the temperatures are. People have a good time out there, so we're looking forward to that.
And we've never lost to Buffalo in the playoffs. We're undefeated, 2-0. So that's a big weather factor right there. And the weather looks wonderful. Nothing to slow down the hottest team in the NFL. Now, our temperatures will be like, 30 degrees warmer than Buffalo on Sunday. We won't have that 40-mile-per-hour wind. It'll be just great for Trevor Lawrence to get that ball down the field and get in the end zone.
Well, it's also good for the Bills in their passing attack as well, yeah.
Right. We do know that it is going to be cold for you guys, though. And here we like to say when it's too cold for them, it's just right for us.
Absolutely. And did you say Vicki Lawrence is playing quarterback for the Jags?
Trevor Lawrence. I know his fantastic hair might throw you off a little bit. It really puts all of us to shame. Now, I want to talk about your quarterback there, Josh Allen in Buffalo, because this is kind of the Bills' window of opportunity.
The beast.
Yeah, okay. Well, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're not there. No Joe Burrow. But now Trevor Lawrence stands in his way. Oh. So are you guys kind of nervous? Is this going to be another playoff where the Buffalo Bills just fail to make it to the Super Bowl?
You know, I'm going to give high marks. Trevor Lawrence has been playing unbelievable football, as have the Jags. But the Bills have been not too bad either. And let's not forget that you're talking about a quarterback in Buffalo that can run and throw the ball, the most rushing touchdowns of any quarterback in NFL history. So I think you guys can flip a coin as to what you want to cover.
And I just think that Trevor Lawrence might just have to go back to singing with the Hanson brothers, which is where he belongs more. There is a remarkable resemblance, right?
Yes, yes.
Mbop.
Well, yeah, he's just going to mbop his way on down the field and score a bunch of touchdowns. Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
Let's do a little lightning round between the two teams and cities. We're going to start. Who has the better Josh Allen? You guys may or may not know this, but the Jags have an edge rusher, probably the best edge rusher, Josh Hines Allen, who just became the Jags franchise leader in sacks this season. He's a team captain. And oh, by the way, the last time your Bills were in Jacksonville, your Josh Allen threw an interception to our Josh Allen. So what say you about the battle of the Josh Allens?
Well, we are the city of good neighbors, so our Josh Allen just felt like sharing a little bit. But our Josh Allen has three important letters that follow his name: MVP.
Say no more. We'll take our Josh Allen over your Josh Allen any day, guys. All right, next up, and this is kind of why we're here, though. We need to talk about the food because, as you all probably know, Buffalo's known for a delicacy here, our wings. So we'll do a little friendly wager. By the way, is Jacksonville known for anything? Food-wise?
Wow.
What?
You got to have some Mayport jumbo shrimp.
Yeah.
You got some Mayport jumbo shrimp.
Yes.
Jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp.
I'm sorry, you can't get that ice fishing. So you can't really find much shrimp there. Sorry, I apologize.
All right, so here's the wager. If the Jaguars do win, you will send us, if the Jaguars win, we will send you our wings. We don't call them buffalo wings here. We do hot, medium, or mild. We'll probably have to send you guys the mild ones. I don't know if you can handle them hot and spicy. And we will not send you ranch with the wings. We only do blue cheese here.
Yeah, and by the way, all the Buffalo transplants will string you up if you go ask for ranch with those wings anyway.
No dab of ranch.
But if the Bills win, when the Bills win, we should say, we want some of that famous Mayport shrimp that you've told us about.
Yeah, we'll send you some shrimp. And because you think that in the deep South, for some reason, they can't handle spice, we'll make sure that it has a little something on there for you guys. A little kick to it for your to drown your tears.
Old Bay is not spice. You know, that's not hot, if that's what you're talking about.
Okay, it's a little different than Old Bay, but I'll give it to you. You're going. I know that's south for you guys down in the Maryland area, but we're a little bit farther. Thank you for joining us here, and I look forward to eating some buffalo wings. I'm gonna have like a bunch of. Just wings. Duval. Yeah, get ready to hear that a lot.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Oh, that's all you got? Go Bills.
That's all we got. That's all we need.
Say no more.
Just guys, try not to burn down our parking lots this time, okay? Yes. Please. That's all we're asking from Buffalo fans.
No, there's not going to be a folding table that's safe in Jacksonville, but the parking lots are probably safe.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Because they possibly can hear us, I can't say what I really want to say about those guys. There was a couple of takes that I thought were just not well thought of and creative. It was just, I don't know. You guys were far more clever. And
thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. They seem like great people. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it other than
It's
I hope
very nice.
that we get to try some of their shrimp when the
Absolutely.
Bills beat the Jacksonville
This is our
Jaguars.
sister station. They do a very good job.
Yes, they're our
I just didn't
colleagues.
like his take on Buffalo. It just irritated me.
It wasn't very nice when
wasn't,
he
no,
said that
it was-
like people don't like Buffalo, so that's why they moved to Florida.
But by the way, the fan base of Jacksonville Jaguars is maybe how many tickets are available to this game? They can't even sell out a playoff game. Yes.
Oh, I
because
hope that the Bills
they don't
fans are
have any
loud
kind
and
of
take
depth
over.
or history or I don't know.
And they said there's a pool at that stadium.
Apparently, yeah. And that sounds. Boy, drink lots of beverages and
my
then go
face?
swimming. Right? Think of what happens in that pool. Right.
I can't even imagine
Right.
the amount of germs
It's
in that pool.
Right. The bugs down there and then whatever else is swimming around. I just can't imagine that being a nice place to be. And their uniforms, I'm sorry, are awful. I don't like their colors. Right? It's kind of like that moss green.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Patrick with the hot takes. Go Bills.
Go Bills.